Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. I am going to make a quick video from the darkness. I done been working all day. I done did a bunch of readings. And now I wanted to come and give you guys a little nightcap about narcissists. One of the reasons why they always end up being stalkers. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get in here so that you guys. All right, hold on a minute. I'm going to share this. Let me share this, shall we? All righty. So let's talk about the narcissist demon. We've been talking about this narc for quite some time. We've been on the narc demon's tail for the past week. And I want to talk to you guys about why narcissistic people cannot accept rejection. Sorry, guys, I got my baby in here. He playing something on the computer, so y'all might hear him over here talking and stuff and yammering on about his game. Let me just tell you guys what you're dealing with here. You are dealing with the narc demon, and this is not for those of you that are currently involved in relationships with narcissistic people. You may be somebody that is trying to cut ties with a narc. You may be somebody that don't have any ties with them at all. Hey, Orion's daughter. Yes, honey. We're going to get on that narc demon's butt tonight. The reason why they can't accept rejection, okay, in particular if it's of a romantic capacity, is because they have a very, very false ego. And this false ego and that narc demon tells them that, maybe everybody wants them. It tells them, things that are beyond the truth. For example, if you haven't spoken with a narc in 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 years, you have not made any attempt to reconnect with them in any way, and they continue to stalk you. Okay? Because most narcissistic people are stalkers. They are. They can't accept no. They can't accept that rejection because of that false ego. Narky people always have a false ego that is not based upon anything that is a reality. So when a narcissist is rejected, it hurts them. It hurts them very deeply. It hurts their already bruised ego when they are being rejected, and then especially when they're being told why. Rarely do they or are they able to accept the truth. They can't even see the truth to themselves. This is the reason why narcissistic people, they go years and years and years in these cycles. And guys, I got saved from that narc demon years ago. I had an angel that came into my life that saved me from that. They just can't accept it. They can't accept when you tell them no. They just can't do it. It's almost like you are taking away their hope and their dreams because there's not enough self-esteem on their own. They don't have that self-esteem to be able to say, you know what, this person don't want me, but guess what, I want me, because they don't even really want themselves. This is from, I was talking to somebody about the narc demon, and either you can be a child that was raised with extreme abuse, or you can be a child that was raised with way too much admiration. Your parent never taught you any lessons. They never allowed you to go through rejection ever. They never said to you, hey, well, maybe this person rejected you because you called them out of their name, or maybe they just rejected you because they're not attracted to you. This is something that a narcissistic person can sometimes, and this is what their mind tells them. They have to go through every single scenario except the fact that you just don't want them. I mean, that's just all it is to it. Okay. And then also, they are possessed by a demon. And this demon does need narcissistic supply. It does. Empaths are a very, very rich supply source for people that are possessed by narc demon. And the reason why is because it's something that is real. The whole thing surrounding narcissism is fake. It's a fake reality that is set up so that they can avoid the truth. I mean, they will go through hell and high water before they accept the truth, which is that either a person is not interested in them, either, they're, maybe this person is, doing something else. Maybe this person is in love with someone else. And you know what? I don't even think narcissistic people even pay attention to what they're doing, because they are constantly going over this over and over and over again in their mind. So it's almost like it's a repeat that plays over and over again, and they just can't accept it. I mean, these people can stay in this mode for years, and what you have to do is cut the cord. In fact, ask Archangel Michael, because a narc is going to try to form a cord to you daily. Even though you may cut the cord, you got to ask Archangel Michael to cut that cord and send them on about their business. Especially if it's somebody that you work with, or somebody that you, that you just can't seem to really get away from. Okay. They make it very, very difficult. Some narcissistic people are even using witchcraft, which is really bad, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Narcissism and witchcraft does not mix. It doesn't. This can be very dangerous and disastrous for the narc, because they will continue to try to do spiritual work that does not actually work. So, I mean, they'll sit up there and they'll keep doing work over and over again, trying to do the work over and over again. And it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Ever. Oh, yeah, I believe in Archangel Michael as well. He's bad. He's a good one. Okay. He ain't to be messed with. Okay. Especially when you've got an abusive narcissist that is extremely toxic. It will never be because, they don't have nothing to offer. That's really what it is. A lot of narcissistic people don't have much to offer to you. I mean, that's really at the basis of it, because they are literally the Five of Pentacles. It is so difficult for them to get that. And that is because if you have had your emotion, if you have had that part of yourself shut off that is related to empathy, then they can't feel it for themselves. They don't feel. So this is the reason why they're able to do some of the most despicable things. This is the reason why they're so abusive. You see what I'm saying? And you've got to choose not to be insulted by nothing that they say. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Archangel Michael is amazing, and so is Raphael. You always want to ask Archangel Michael to cut the cord with that person, and then you want to have Raphael heal it. Because if it's anything open, this is the reason why narcissistic people, when you're rejecting them, oh, but what about your kids? And then they're going to make up this, and then this is going to happen. And then the only thing that's going to happen at the end of the day is that they're going to still be rejected. That's the only thing. That's the only very real thing that is happening for narcissistic people, is that they're being rejected and they're not living a real life. This is terrible for these people. Okay, and it is because the narcissist demon is only connected to people that have that emptiness inside of them. It's an empty feeling that they get. They get very empty. And then this is when they need supply. And the people that are around them, like I said, they don't give a damn about them. They don't. The people that are encouraging them, people that encourage a narcissist to be narky, they don't care about that person. Because eventually a narcissistic person will self-destruct. Okay. And if nobody's there to save you from that, or to say, hey, look, because there's people that have narcissistic tendencies, but that doesn't mean that they're completely, a person that is completely taken over by the narc demon. Many of them are doomed, because the reality that they should see, that everybody else can see, is not there. And we're not talking about just somebody that has a beef with you or somebody that doesn't like you. Thank you, O Washington. We're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody that literally chooses you and says, you are going to be my supply, whether or not you like it or not. And this is a person that you do have to cut the cord from. Once you cut that cord, they're in a disastrous place. Because, as an empath and as a healer, it's not necessarily my job. First of all, you can't force somebody to heal themselves. Okay, healing is self-healing. And that's one thing that Archangel Raphael stresses. Even when I do a healing for you, I am reminding your mind, body, and spirit of how to heal. Okay, and then that's when your body takes over. Other than that, this is somebody that you probably shouldn't even listen to. Okay, because this is somebody that's very toxic, very parasitic. Nobody should be listening to parasitic people. Nobody. Okay, I wouldn't even listen to them. Mm-hmm. Orion's daughter. Yes, they will do that. Children of narcissistic people are usually very empathic, usually very sweet and loving and kind people. They usually are, especially if they have like a protective shield around them, to where they don't really trust people. But once they do know that they can trust you, very, very loving people. And they say that narcissistic people can't change, and it really depends on the level of the possession. If a narc demon has completely possessed your mind, body, and spirit, literally everything is that, that person's perception is reality. Even though everybody else is watching it, everybody is looking at it, and it's like, wait a minute, you honestly don't see that the reason why you're reacting is because you're reacting because you were rejected. So narcissistic people, listen, even when you are not talking about them, talking to them, okay, they feel, and then even when and you really have to go no contact with them, because any contact is going to give them some sort of hope that you're going to actually, like them or be involved with them, anything that you say to them. So it's important to not say anything, because then the cycle starts all over again. Even though the cycle for them goes on and on. I mean, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. I've had people that were obsessed with me before, but I have never seen the level and obsessions. Narcissistic people usually are very suicidal. At the same time, they're insulting you, but then again, they're trying to use you for some kind of validation. Wait a minute, you're insulting me, but then again, you want to use a person for validation. Now, does that make sense? You want nothing to do with that person, but yet you're talking about them. You can't stand that person, but yet you're subscribed to them. None of it makes any sense. It's like these people take themselves through a self-torture process all the time. The bottom line is that they can't handle that rejection from you. The reason why you rejected them is because of something that they probably did. Or maybe you just, they automatically assume that you want a romantic involvement with them as well, especially when it comes to a narcissistic man. They automatically assume, okay, when they look in the mirror, they don't see that demon, but people that can look at them, they'll see it and they'll see straight through them. And they'll wonder why am I not successful? Why am I still stuck here? Because you're not dealing with reality. It's the reality of it. And we are going to be doing a release. This is going to involve the narcissist demon. I think that's why that demon is freaking out right now. I mean, it's trying to pull energy from wherever it can, and it's got to die. We got to let that narc demon lay down and take a rest. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. A normal person can live with themselves. If there's not anybody else around, they can get by. They can stay single without attacking others. They're not angry and they're not upset about it. But narcissistic people, they cannot live without that supply. They just can't do it. Doesn't matter how you spin it. Doesn't matter how the narcissist spins it. They're upset because they were rejected. That's just all it is to it. And especially if they think that they were rejected for somebody else, but then when they find out how irrelevant they are, look, there's a lot of people that I'm irrelevant to. Am I sitting around worrying about them? No, because I'm not narcissistic. The people that I'm irrelevant to, are fine by me. There's a lot of people that don't care about me. Am I sitting around going, oh, this person is, I'm irrelevant to this person and I can't handle it? It's a very, very fragile ego that they have. And they've built this false sense of self surrounding it. And it's so hard for them to let go. It hurts them. I mean, I've seen some narcissistic people die. These people are very prone to heart attacks because they can't let go. Then they start taking on the characteristics and the identity of the devil. And then that's when you got a real problem. Okay, they'll start to think of themselves as a demonic entity, which is basically what it is. And they will go through facial changes. Yeah, release them in love and light. I agree. This is going to be a very light ritual to where we are going to be releasing a lot of the anger, a lot of the sadness, a lot of the limitations that, maybe your narcissistic ex put on you, or maybe your narcissistic mother put on you. So this is going to be a very big ritual. Make sure that you guys get involved with it because the universal energies is set up for that. This is why narcissistic people are either trying to change their ways or they're fighting for supply that doesn't even belong to them. Okay, these are the people that thinks the world owes them something. And remember, I told you, don't nobody owe you nothing but you. So this is the reason why they're pulling, pulling, and pulling. Pull all your energy back. You got to pull all that energy back and release them. And you really, I don't know anybody that worries about a narcissist far afterwards unless they love or care about them. But the best thing to do is to just get them out of your mind. Because it's a dead end. It's definitely a dead end road that they're going. And want to pull as many people into that as possible. Okay. You know, 9 times out of 10, if somebody rejected you and you're going on and on and on and on and on about it for months and months and years, literally, I've had narcissistic people that I haven't spoken with in 10 years and they still talking about it. I've had narcissistic people that I released 2-3 years ago. They still talking about it. This is something that is going to destroy them because they can't accept what it is, which it is what it is. And yeah, as an empath, sometimes you can even feel their pain. It's too painful. It's very painful. What they are going through is a very painful process. And if they don't live through it, because some of them don't, because when you feel the need to control how another person feels about you so deep to where literally it hurts your chest area, it hurts. And usually a narcissistic person will have no basis. They'll have no basis for this connection to you. And you'll say to them, well, we don't have a connection anyway. The connection is the supply. You can feel their pain. It's very painful for them. Okay, too blessed. And, literally releasing it is what you have to do. And release yourself from it. Okay? And please don't feel bad for them. That's what they want. They want you to feel sorry for them. Well, I'm sorry, you're grown. You're responsible for yourself. Okay? Your feelings and your love and your compassion, that is reserved for people that deserve it. Okay? At that moment, they can't accept love anyway. It's not them that's getting any of that love. It's that demon. They're not even benefiting off of it directly because there's literally no improvement. In fact, they get worse the older that they get. Okay. And I think that eventually in research, what they're going to find is that if they do CAT scans and stuff on them, and if they look at their brain, they're going to definitely see lesions and all kind of stuff that demon has done to them. And many of them do lose their minds because it is a psychosis. And I've seen narcissistic people go into a psychosis a lot. Okay. So it's Sunday. I know that I'm getting ready to watch a movie. I don't even want to hear what a narcissistic person has to say. I mean, literally, especially if it's somebody that you used to be cool with or your ex. Look, dude, it's been 10 years, 2 years, 5 years. Nobody's that interested in it unless you're an obsessive compulsive person. They will look like it's some kind of demon that's there. They will look like that. Yes, they will. Yeah. Well, Orion's daughter, you know what that is? The sad part about it is that when it comes to narcissistic people, their children can continue to suffer. Now you can actually there's a ritual for that though. So she doesn't necessarily have to deal with it. Um I know that for me, whether or not you have an abusive ex or, whatever, you can take that energy and transmute it into something positive and learn from it. Is what you can do. And the one message that we're going to all take away from narcissists is that we are going to appreciate our lives and we are going to appreciate our ability to love ourselves because they can't do it. They're looking for that admiration. They're looking for that validation that is never going to come by no other person except for them. And that's the truth about the matter. Sometimes you really have to walk away from them, especially if you want to bring about positive change to your life. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hit that thumbs up. And I look forward to hearing from all of you guys with the new moon. We got this new moon in Taurus. Oh, it is going to be powerful. Okay. You are very welcome. Thank you, Orion's daughter. I love you guys. Love and light.